The Cowboys selectively aggressive while their counterparts are calculating aggressive. That could be a situation and scenario, but let's listen to what they say over here.
And we could have a market here with a couple teams.
Okay, and then tell me why I should be thinking about Myles Garrett on the Eagles.
So way early, I'm connecting some dots here, admittedly, but this is a conversation that some people in the league have had, that the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the most aggressive, if not the most aggressive teams on the trade market, will be looking for a pass rusher. Josh Sweat, the Super Bowl likely or close MVP, could be out. The expectation is that he will sign elsewhere. So they're going to have a need there. Myles Garrett, they would not want to see him go to the Washington Commanders, for example. If that was to gain traction, Howie Roseman would likely step in, try to make a deal.
All right, so likely, when you are in a division that wants to win, right, and everyone kind of fight each other for that win, you got to figure out a way to get yourself a competitive edge. And the Eagles, by far, been figuring those things out of getting a competitive edge. And the Cowboys, while we are talking about being selectively aggressive, they've been calculating aggressive. And we can't sit back and sit on our hands to expect to compete against someone who's willing to do all of everything to make sure that they're competing in the right thing. So the Cowboys, if we want to compete, we got to figure out a way. Everybody have the same set of circumstances, especially with the salary cap.
It's too hard for the Cleveland Browns to refuse. Keep it in mind here, the Browns are a hard no. They're still telling teams they have no interest in trading Myles Garrett. If he were to become available, several teams will be in that. Maybe the Eagles will be one.
No doubt, no doubt. So maybe the Eagles be one of many of a team that could go out there and grab a Myles Garrett. I would say this, though. Let's not fret. Let's not say, oh no, we're in trouble. Oh, no. No, that's not the case nor the scenario. But the reality of it, Cowboy Nation, we got to compete, and we can't sit on our hands and expect to compete against teams that's willing to go far beyond what we are willing to do. Now, we can get tied up with this Osa conversation for the nation. We can. We can get tied up with the Micah Parsons. Do you pay him now? Do you pay him later? Do you wait after the draft? Do you see who you're going to get in the draft? Do you leverage the ability to say, hey, I can use Parsons as a draft day trade or something like that, and that's why you kind of holding off on paying the man early? Or you can go with the old rigmarole of, hey, we like our guys, but we like to wait for big days of news media cycle to sign our guy so that we can get the headlines, right, for your mind. Or we can do the right thing and make sure that we pay our guys early. That would create more and more money, more and more things that we can do. And then from there, we can make the calculated aggressive pick. But if we don't do those things, ladies and gentlemen, we will be doing the cyclings of the same thing over and over again. Let's not do that. I'm old enough to remember the Cowboys literally did the same ploy with Dak Prescott on his contract, right? Paid everyone, and then they paid Dak last. And they created all types of cap structures of, hey, we would pay this guy, but we got to pay this person. Well, we're seeing the pattern again. If you fool around and pay everyone and then pay Parsons last, right? You pay Osa, you pay Bland, and whoever else you may pay, and then you say, okay, now we work on Parsons' deal. It will be still of the same, right? You pay Parsons first, spread that money, and let's get more things for this team, because we lose out on the other situations when we franchise tag. You can't prorate, you can't spread that money out. You get these type of results. So the Cowboys, if we are smart and wise, let's just go ahead and pay our players so we have more money, more resources, so we can go out and get players. Also, we should be able to restructure some contracts so that we can have enough money to dance around in free agency. We can't wait till after the draft. And if we are fools, right? You're supposed to have the draft, of course, but you can't lean 1,000% on them, right? You want to be able to fill some of your holes in free agency, go in the draft to solidify some things to supplement that. And then after the draft, you dance around a little bit more in free agency, and then you get ready for the offseason workouts and beyond. That's been the way. But somehow Cowboys like to skip all of that and say, hey, we 100% going to lean on the draft. We 100% going to lean on our own guys or UFL boys or the undrafted fellas, and we have to be the smartest people in the room to make this work. And we make moves. We make a lot of deals, selectively, aggressively speaking, on the back end. That's not going to work this season, nor for the future. Cowboys, do the right thing. Move money around. Let's go get these things done. Other teams are doing it, and they are not looking for excuses. They're getting it done one way or another. Post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns down below. And, hey, the Eagles saying that they don't want Myles Garrett to go to Washington, right? And, of course, Washington is looking at it like, hey, we got north of $85 to $90 million. We can get whoever we want if we want to. Let that sink in. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys.